Today's video is going to be about a topic that I get a lot of questions about, and that's how to get your mail as a full-time traveler or as a full-time RVer.
For the day I break these chains, I'm bound for the life of the simple things.
A couple of different people on this subject have told me that other YouTubers they've asked kind of made fun of them, and there's a reason for that. A lot of YouTubers, they have their mail going to family or friends or what have you, and it's identical to what they've always done, so they feel like it's a silly question. But I understand that when a lot of people are asking that, they're like, how do I set up my state residency? How do I make sure I'm fully on the up and up and legal with getting my mail? And how do I not burden family and friends? And so those are the objectives that make me go ahead and go with a mailing service, because the number one reason for that is when you get right down to it, technically, real technically, it's not legal to have your mail sent to, say, your mom if you don't live at your mom's house, and that's not technically a way that you should be setting up your state residency either. It's not technically legal in the United States. Now, you're never going to probably have any problem with that, doing it that way, because I'm sure your mom would just say, if it was ever asked to her, that yeah, you live there, right? And then you're never going to have any issue. The second issue that I kind of see with doing it that way is going to just simply be the fact that if you're out and about a lot, like if you're out traveling and stuff, having it go to friends or family in that way and then having them forward your mail out to you can kind of be a pain in the tail for your family or your friends, especially if it's over a long, prolonged period of time, right? And I don't like doing that. So if you're similar to me, then you're probably wanting to know, how can I take care of it? How can I have everything forwarded to me? And how can I be legal? And that's what this video is about. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some mail services, or at least the ones that I know that are out there. And then from there, we'll go ahead and move on to the one that I use, and I'll give an in-depth review. All right, well, let's jump right into it here. I'm first going to give you several websites that I know of here that are different mail services. And then you can kind of do some of the research on your own here. Most of these mail services that do mail forwarding and everything, probably I'd say 85% of them will allow you to be able to set up your state residency as well with it. What you'll have to do to make that happen is you're going to have to go ahead and fill out a postal form 1085, I believe it's called. So this first one here is U.S. Global Mail. Now, I'm going to put links in the description for all these mail services, but to give you an idea of the cost of some of these mail services here, we have an individual plan, and the individual plans here, it says $15 a month. If you buy it on a 3-month basis, a 12-month basis, it drops to $12.50, 24 months to $10. Now, individual plan would mean just one person, and that's an important thing to note. Family plan is multiple. What I went ahead and did is we got a plan that allowed us both to get mail, both Catalina and I, to get our mail, and then also it allowed for us to set up the ability to get mail for Wanderlust Estate as well. So, and then any kind of small businesses that we open, we just need to do a postal form for each of those. The postal form is a form that has to be notarized. So that's an important thing to note, is there is some money set up in the cost of doing this besides just the fees that are involved for signing up for one of these services. You'll have to do a postal form 1085, which basically says this is going to be your agent garnering your mail. Doing that form allows you to then be able to use that address that you get from your mailing a service for setting up your state residency as well. Next here is mydakotaaddress.com. Now, this one only allows you to set up your state residency in South Dakota. And if you guys want to know the reason why South Dakota and certain other states happen to be the states that I would say you want to make sure you set up your state residency, and then also why you'd want to do that. If you'd like to know that, just comment down below in the comments section. Let me know you want me to do a video on that, and I'll go in a lot of detail for y'all to let you know why you would pick which states. To their fees. And I like on this one, I like that it's a real detailed breakdown to really understand your service and what the real costs are going to be on it. But it is quite complicated here. I tried to use as little complication in picking my service as possible. I think you can get surprised the more complicated the mailing service fee schedule is. Next here we have America's Mailbox.com, and this one is a mailing service that I had run into somebody in North Dakota while I was at Sugar Beet Harvest that said that they'd had this one and then they were happy with it. Here's a little bit about the fee schedule, and again, like all the others, the links will be down below. This one happens to have both a scanning service and just a mail forwarding service. I kind of like the scanning service, and the reason why I like the scanning service, guys, is that with the scanning services, you can have them scan your mail for you, and you don't have to wait for the postage to get sent out to you, and you get it faster, number one. Number two, if you move quite a bit, you don't have to be worried about staying in one spot until your shipment gets there. So it's just nice, and then you can just only have the stuff that you absolutely need sent out to you. Next one here is a very popular one, uh, MailLink, and this one I had heard some people that are full-time travelers and not full-time RVers have, and that they like it quite a bit. Here on the side is going to have the cost of the forwarding of the mail out to you, which is nice to get an idea of what your fees are going to be associated with. And then it gives you a breakdown of pricing here. You know, whether it's sent first class mail or whether it's sent UPS or FedEx and whatnot. And it looks like they have a pretty nice back end mailing system, which is showing some images of that. So I think that could be a good one as well. It's not the one I ended up choosing, but it looks all right to me. Uh, Looks like the mailboxes have a different fee cost each. So that's something that you're going to want to really ask a lot of questions about and measure it out size wise for you so that you actually know, because it looks to me like it depends on how large the mailbox actually is. So here's our next one. This is usatome.com. This is a mail service here. I just got their fee schedule page up here. A monthly fee on pay what you use, which this could be pretty nice if you don't actually use a whole lot and you don't receive a lot of mail. That could be pretty cool. So it's something to definitely note on this. And once again, here is your breakdown. One thing I get concerned about on these type of mailing services is when the more complicated they are, the more little things that they ding you for, mailbox size and everything else, the more expensive it can get and be surprising for you. This is the one that we use, And we'll go into it and actually show our back end and talk about it in more depth for you here after I kind of show all the others. But basically, just to set up the mail service, you're looking at $11.99, and it doesn't matter the size of your box or what have you. Um, and also with this one, not only does it not matter the size of your box, but they also have scanning, as you can see here. They always scan the front of your mail, so you can kind of get an idea if, let's say it was your tax return or whatever on that end of it, you would be able to know that this is one that you can absolutely set up your state residency in Florida with. And the scan system costs $7.99. That way you can have a month add on to an $11.99 a month. That's what we're paying to have your mail scanned up for you. And you pick what you want scanned. Like they do a front of the thing first, and then you go from there and just select. But I'll talk a little more about that. Okay, so here we have travelingmailbox.com. I had run into this one when I was looking for mailing services. Now, I do not know anybody that's done it. I didn't end up rolling with it myself. Uh, it seems to be a bit more expensive than the route I went with SBI or St. Bernard's Isle, but it'll have a link down below in the description. Perhaps you can call them up and kind of talk to them about their service and how they go if you'd like. I don't really know too much of it personally. Looks like they have an extended plan, a basic plan, and then one for a small business. So the small business one is already considerably more expensive than the option that we have. It's double already, and we can get our mail, small business mail to that. So now we have my RV mail. And this one will let you help you set up state residency as well. It has their fee schedule here. Looks like 3 months ends up costing you 96 and under their premium plan. I have not actually had any reviews, heard any reviews on this one. Somebody did mention this one, so I looked it up. They have both a basic here and then also a premium. So I don't have a lot of information on it for you, but I thought I would include it and just give you a brief note on what the costs of this mail service are. This one here is probably the second most well-known mailing service that I know of. You have to actually be part of the Escapees RV Club to have their mailing service. They do both the scanning and they do mail out. And now mine really lets you only set up mail service in Florida, from my understanding. Now with Escapees RV Club, they have the ability to let you set up mail service and your state residency in South Dakota, Florida, or Texas. But their main hub is actually right out of Texas. So like I said, they have both a fee for the general mail service. They also have a scanning opportunity. It's a much more complicated pricing schedule for the scanning than the SBI is, but this one will allow you to set up your state residency in 3 different states. So that's a real positive. Okay, this video has gotten pretty long. I don't really want it to be any longer, so I thought I'd tell you real quick, we are very happy with SBI. If you watch our past videos, you've seen us go pick up mail at the actual location in Jacksonville. If you do that, you aren't charged for it. We're really happy with our service. I will go ahead and do a breakdown on how the back end looks and everything like that if everybody wants me to do that. Well, if at least enough people say down in the comments, hey man, please do a full review, show us the back end of your mail service. we'll go ahead and do that for y'all. Hope you enjoyed this video. It's the first time I've really utilized a software that does screencasting, so I'm sorry there was a couple of bad spots in audio. I'll go ahead and get those fixed in the future. Get out there, connect with people, live your big story.
Make sure you do something every single day to reduce road suck.
Peace, guys.
Peace and love.
Without you